Have you ever wondered how bad 35-inch tires affects your fuel economy? Or are you in the market for a Wrangler but can't decide between the 2-liter turbo or the 3.6-liter V6? Well, this is a good video for you to compare the two by. So let's go ahead and check out these two Rubicons. Now this beauty, I did a video on comparing it to a very similar Xtreme Recon. It was a red one. Be sure to check out that video. But this does have 35-inch tires and it does have higher gearing in the rear. Now this Wrangler Rubicon does have a slightly shorter tire. So this is going to be a 285/70/17 and it's going to have a 410 rear axle. So a numerically lower axle ratio is going to help with fuel economy. Now I know what some of you guys are probably thinking. You're probably saying this is a mismatch and it's probably a dumb test, and it probably is, but we have two Wranglers here, one with a turboed engine 4-cylinder and one with a V6. So I think that if the inline 4 turbo is as good as I think it is on fuel mileage, then it should be like a 5 MPG difference between these two. Now we're going to take it on like a 10-minute drive and we're going to compare the fuel mileage. I will do some acceleration here too to really mess with the fuel economy, because that should really hurt us on the turbo side because of that boost. Let's get started. Alrighty, so this Xtreme Recon is going to be the first to go because it's going to have to set the bar really high against the Rubicon without the higher numerical gearing and bigger tires. So we're going to go off of the computer here. Now what I've learned from the computer is this: if you're not idling a lot or in a lot of stop and go traffic, this is typically pretty accurate. But if you don't trust it, you can always just deduct a MPG or more. So I'm going to go ahead and reset this. The stop start function just came on and we're going to do about 10 miles on this loop here. So hopefully it should give you a good idea of the fuel economy. All right, so here we go. I won't spend too much time on this one because I did do a drive on it. We're just gonna really set the bar for the fuel economy. But here's what I'll tell you. I didn't mention this in the last video. If you are looking at an Xtreme Recon, because of the meatier tires, you know, a little bit heavier wheels and higher gearing, they actually change the numbers on the door sticker for you. So you have a higher gross axle weight rating out back, and that's really to accommodate, you know, a little bit more heavier tires and that spare tire. And they also raise the gross vehicle weight rating too. So I'll show you that in this video, the differences between the two. But that's just something that manufacturers will do to try to give you a little bit more capacity, especially if you plan on maybe towing a small trailer or something like that. But overall, the V6 is really quiet. I am going to accelerate for you one time. This one does have 300 miles on it, so this one's kind of broken in almost. So we're going to really see how it's going to do. Now, I mentioned this in the last video. This thing handles like you would expect it to. Very clumsy, but you're not looking to go around curves really hard, and you're not looking to really take this on a spirited drive. So it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're just cruising like I'm right now, you don't notice those types of things. But having a meatier tire does bring a little bit more road noise, and I'll hopefully be able to compare that between the two videos for you. But so far we've been driving 2 minutes, 1 mile, 16.3 MPG. So that's not too bad, but when we accelerate, it's going to drop down a good bit. So hang tight. We're going to be there in like a few minutes, and then I'll show you guys. I'll do it from 0. That way it's fair, okay? All right, so this is going to be a 3.6-liter V6. It's going to be good for 285 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. It is considered a mild hybrid system. It's like a generator right here. It is mated to an 8-speed transmission, and as I mentioned, this does have a 456 rear axle, so that's going to really affect fuel economy. But having this 8-speed should keep the RPMs nice and low where you need them at to get better fuel economy. I'm secretly rooting for the V6. I think that having a turbocharged engine, despite what people will say, you're gonna have mixed feelings about turbo. Sometimes turbo engines can last as long as a naturally aspirated engine, or sometimes they could just be unreliable. So I think that if I were to buy a Wrangler, it'll probably be with this V6. I mean, this one does have the eTorque system, so it's gonna have like a small generator. The stop-start function works really well. I think that the 4 Turbo may have a nice system on it too. I can't remember. I'll put it here in the video if I remember, but I'll probably do it when I drive it. But here we go. We're about to pretty much line it up here for the acceleration test. I'm at 19.4 MPG. So I'm about to destroy this right now. All right. So here we go. I'm trying to start it all in the same spots. So right here we go. Oh, actually the stop start function came on. Is letting me get all set up. So here we go. I wasn't expecting that. Get the V6 if you want the performance. So far, I'm not even gonna give the I'm not even gonna give the turbocharger a chance. That was more than enough power. Wow, that was good for big 35-inch tires and V-lock wheels. Insanity. Woo! This thing was moving. Now, with that being said, let's see what we got here. Let me go ahead and set the cruise control. That way we can kind of be very similar on fuel economy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how badly we drop down. Here we go. Whoa, well, we only dropped like 4 MPG. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Alrighty, so here we go. This is gonna be the first turnaround. We've gone 6.1 miles, 17.1 MPGs. I'm gonna do the exact same route. That way we're all on the same page. All right, here we go. So the stop start function should come on. There it is. Stop start function just came on. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and accelerate. We're gonna probably have to, I'm not gonna go crazy with the acceleration, but we're definitely gonna be losing some MPG here. There we go. Alrighty, so back up to 65. Yeah, we're losing that fuel economy again. Woo, that's bad. But one thing I did not mention, this is a very hilly area. So we're typically going up and down roads. So my opinion is you're gonna probably get close to 17 combined if you drive very conservatively. Using cruise control on these types of hills is not a good idea either, because the engine's always accelerating, downshifting, all that stuff. So sometimes it's better to learn how to coast down, get a little bit of miles per hour, and then kind of go back up the, you know, these inclines and avoid using so much fuel economy. I mean, I'll be honest, with gas prices being a little bit higher, this is something that's really important to people, and that's kind of why I'm doing these videos, more so just because I think they'll help people if they are just trying to save, you know, save money at the pump. Right now we're at 8 miles almost, 16.2 MPG. I don't know, this might not do good against that 2-liter turbo. I don't know. It's pretty insane, like how many people look at this thing going down the road. I think having these Meteor tires really does like help the appearance 100%. This is not even a nice color, it's just gray. I mean, if it was like a bright red or if it was like a cool blue, I could see people, you know, seeing it because it stands out a little bit more, but this is just a regular gray SUV and it's like really getting the looks. So here's the last time I'm gonna check in with you guys. This road is gonna be about 40 miles an hour, so I might be able to get to 17. I think that the 2-liter turbo is gonna do a little bit better, but I have some advice on that drive, so I'll leave my opinion for that moment. But we'll probably end off about 17.3, somewhere in that ballpark. Wow, I almost got an MPG better. Now I was going downhill a good bit, but nevertheless, that is not bad fuel economy, guys. Wow, I'm very, very, very surprised by this. So 18.1. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. 12.7 miles, about 16 minutes and 50 seconds. This one does not have the leather seats. I think I like the leather seats a little bit better. I guess I'm like really bougie and didn't know it. All right, so let's go ahead. This one's pretty much warmed up, so we should be good to go. I was driving it around the lot a little bit earlier just to kind of get the oil running through the engine and all that good stuff. But I'm gonna take one more lap around the parking lot and then we'll go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and reset this. Stop start function just came on. There's a little bit of traffic, so we're gonna wait a little bit longer. And then we're gonna go ahead and head out. Here we go. This has a different feel. It really does. I wasn't expecting to feel it right away, but this one feels a little bit more, it feels a little shorter. I can feel that. It feels a little bit shorter, not much. And I don't know, it just feels different. Like I don't know, it feels lighter for some reason. It feels a little bit more nimble. It could just be me though. I think after driving them back to back, yeah, this feels a little different. But we're at a stoplight here. I don't think I stopped last time, so this might be a little bit of a difference. But I'll just let it go into, to the off position for a little bit. It's gonna save you a little bit of fuel economy. Already out of the gate though, look at that, 19 MPG. Oh man, woo, man, this is gonna probably destroy that V6. One thing I would tell you, if you've never owned a turbocharged vehicle, I always recommend, I don't know if this one has it or not, but we'll just kind of go through it. I always recommend you look for the turbo gauge or the boost gauge. This one does not seem to have it though, so that kind of stinks. So I hate 4-cylinder turbos in bigger vehicles, and the reason why is because sometimes you find yourself accelerating a lot or accelerating too much because you don't feel that power instantly. So whenever I see a inline 4 turbo in a truck or something even like this, I'm always like a little biased because I always know that you always have to make up for that performance that you lose from that 4-cylinder, because normally when you pull off from a light and you're not giving it that much throttle, it tends to feel like sluggish. And then when you push it, then you'll start to feel a nice jolt coming. That's because that turbo spools up. Now, the reason why that's bad is because it's gonna hurt your fuel economy. So that's why I always recommend, if you don't really know how to drive a turbo, or if you really are concerned about fuel mileage and you're going with the inline 4 because it's gonna get better fuel economy, I think the V6 might be better for some people. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, we're already pretty much gonna beat that V6. I was hoping I could try to make it close, but I don't know. This might be a little far off. But we are going to do the acceleration test. I'll do it in the same spot, and you guys will be able to see a side-by-side comparison of the performance too. So here's your 2-liter turbo. Now this one is going to be good for 270 horsepower. So you do have a little bit less horsepower, but where you really gain the performance is on the torque side of things. So this is going to have 295 pound-feet of torque. So it has, what is that, 35 more than the V6? Now, one thing you have to understand is this turbo is a great tool to have. However, if you don't know how to use it, it could hurt you and make you get worse fuel economy than this one. So be very careful on how you drive it, and I'll kind of show that to you in this video. Alrighty, so I have to admit something. I had to restart the test because I forgot to show you guys the digital miles per hour. So we are just killing it. The Wrangler's definitely heated up and everything now, so we should be good to go. So let me not forget to do it this time. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on the speedometer here, where you guys can see it, and here we go. was quick. That was quick. I think the V6 was quicker. I can't wait to show you guys the footage side by side. I think that when you see the acceleration on both of them, I feel like the V6 was moving a little bit quicker. And it could be because of the horsepower. I mean, horsepower really sets your top speed. So in that case, I think that this was definitely gonna probably lose up to about 40 miles an hour. But that turbo did come on nice and strong. I did feel that jolt very early on. So there's not a lot of delay. That turbo is it's a Garrett turbo. So those are good turbo chargers. They've been around for a while. So I'm not too surprised by that. But I'm actually amazed by how well it accelerated. So kudos to Jeep on tuning this thing. So let's go ahead and see the damage, because that's going to be really what you guys want to see. So, oh wow, 16.4. Wow. That is definitely, well, that's probably about the same as the last one. I feel like the V6 was around like 15 MPG at that time frame, but we got a little bit of traffic up here. But it shouldn't affect it too much because this is just a one lane, and I slowed down a little bit with the V6, but I didn't slow down to a stop. So let's just see what happens. I am going to let it coast a little bit to make up for the difference. Alrighty, so we're getting ready to come up to our basically third turn, second or third turn, I can't remember now. Not bad. Not bad at all. I cannot remember where the other Jeep was, so I will reference it here in the video for you. Now this does have a, oh, the stop-start function hasn't come on yet. Interesting. But it doesn't matter, we're getting ready to make the U-turn now. Now, one thing I didn't mention, or maybe I did mention in the video, this does have basically a 32.7-inch tire compared to the 35s. So just keep that in mind. I wonder if that's going to affect the miles that we drive too. Be interesting to see. Although they probably do recalibrate that Recon, so that probably won't really affect anything, I don't think. Let's go ahead and get back up to speed. So there it is, 65 miles an hour, and we're at 17.1 MPG. I don't feel like having the 35s, you know, increase the noise as much as I thought they would. This actually has the built-in little fabric things on the roof, but you really do get hit with like a lot of air on the front of the Wrangler, so that's where a lot of the noise is coming in at. And it's because these A-pillars are really small, so you're going to really get a lot of noise from them. Alrighty, so this is basically the last turn before we get back to the dealership. So 18.4, not bad. And we're going to keep it on moving too, actually. There it is. This trip probably is going to end off a little bit longer just because of some of the slower traffic and the slowdown that we had, but otherwise it should be very, very comparable. But 18.2, I believe we were like at 17.1 in the same spot last Wrangler we drove, so we're already about an MPG better. So we really just have to do at least one or two better really to kind of compare well with the window sticker. But in my opinion, I think I should get maybe 2 or 3 better because of the 35-inch tires, higher gearing. But I guess my point I was trying to make is you're not going to really get that much better fuel economy between the two. So unless you like the idea of, you know, having a turbo and you can maybe turn up the boost a little bit down the road if you want to modify it, I still think that V6 is just a better option. Alright, so we're about to pull up next to the Xtreme Recon. And there you have it. 19.8. 12.5 miles, 18 minutes. I think we did like 16 minutes on the Xtreme Recon. So, I mean, so you guys tell me. I feel as though this is not a huge increase. Although this is a cheaper option, so just keep that in mind. And you still get better fuel economy. I just think that that V6 is worth the premium. I think that if we were getting 21, 22, and I feel like I babied this one a little bit more just to kind of not be so biased with the V6, but it's not a huge difference in my opinion. So I don't know, you guys tell me in the comment section. I feel as though having that V6, that higher gearing, I would expect this to beat it by like 2 or 3, and it only beat it by basically like 1.5 miles or so. So you guys are rock stars. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like the videos, guys, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you really soon.